So you'd like to know that I think a few days ago I completed every single side quest that I can do at the moment off screen. I only had about maybe 7 side quests to do. That includes the very long. Oh my god, that scared me. Lol. Including the very long fishing quest. What do I need? I need window mode. Okay. Every single one, including the fishing quest. So basically, over this part 1 and part 2. What are you doing, Jerry? There's part 1 and part 2, and so if you have 50% in your quest log, that means you've done every single quest you can in the first part. And so I took the time to do that. Thank God for Steam Link, which meant I could play it on my as long as I left my computer on, I could play it on my laptop whenever I was not at home. So yes, 50% completion. That is, you don't have any incomplete quests. All of that has been. Yeah. All of that has been done, including the goddamn fishing quest. Which is great, because you know what that means. It means I can just crack on with the story, and I have no idea where I need to go. To the library. And I guess I need to speak to Popola. Okay. So I have a problem with wrong way. I have a problem with my my Xbox controller now. So basically, I was trying to like glue my shoes together because they fell off the soles. Don't worry about it. Okay, actually, I'll show you. Take one off. So, these are my kicks. Right, sick. Right, awesome. Had them for a long while, like a year, but unfortunately, that's happened. So I was like, okay, cool. I guess I'll just glue them together. So I have like glue adhesive spray. I can't put that back on. I have a adhesive spray can thing, and I thought, yeah, let me try. So I sat down on my bed and like I was spraying it, but like my controller was like on the floor in the distance, and I kind of like missed my shoe a little bit at some point, and it went directly onto like the corner of my Xbox controller. So like it's probably hard to see, but can you see like that gunk on it around here? That's like from the adhesive, and I can't get it to wash off. So if anyone knows how to get adhesive off, that would be great. So the issue now is that not only does my LB button, like it works fine, but there's less feedback than there is on the RB button. But it works fine. Another problem I have is that some of the adhesive got into the internals of the joystick, or the left movement joystick. And so moving anywhere is fine, but when I move up, it's also fine, it works. But if I leave the joystick while moving up, it sticks. It sticks. It doesn't stick forever, but it sticks for about 5 seconds and then goes back. And also when I'm moving up, which is the direction I'm going to be moving in a lot, it just feels weird. I can feel this like stickiness, so that's gonna be frustrating. But we move. Nail polish remover, yeah, I'll try that. I'm sure someone in this house has nail polish remover. Okay.
What's up, Popola?
Oh, hi. I just got a strange letter in the mail.
Dearest Popola, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing in hopes of bringing your attention to a certain dream issue of concern regarding recent events in It's not me, right? I am writing in hopes of bringing to your attention a certain dream issue of concern regarding recent events in Dream the Village. I was hoping I might be able to get your advice, Dream, on the matter. Recently, there have been dream reports, dream of a certain dream of dream, evil dream, empty dream, cursed dream, evil dream, worst dream, and dream, some dream. Yeah, okay. Good. I thought I was just not being able to read correctly, which is, you know, par for the course for me. My lighting looks a different today because I don't have the big fuck off red light flash thing fill light going on right now. I could put it on, but I can't be fucked. You can see me perfectly fine. If not, I can bump this up.
Who's it from?
The mayor of a small village in the Forest of Myth. It's a wooded area up north.
The Forest of Myth?
They're usually a bright and cheerful group of people. Something like this is very out of character for them. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll check it out.
You will?
Don't worry about it. I've got business there anyway.
Oh, well, all right. Thank you.
Flammable snow sounds weird. Explain how that works. Alright, so Forest of Myth, I believe, is on normal plains. See that? It's stuck. Okay, now it's not stuck. But if I do that, the joystick sticks to the forward until... Okay, now it's just stuck. That's annoying. I really have to do this nail polish thing soon at some point. Alright, so we're going to the Forest of Myth, which is over yonder. So kick up and buck up and let's go. Wrong way. Skirt. Oh, I've been to the Forest of Myth. Only briefly, when I was hunting this boar. So... let's see. It's a slightly different shade than pure white, and it's so polluted a simple cigarette lighter can light it up. So right now it's snowing in America, in a whole bunch of places, and I don't know like how widespread the snow is. Hello, sir.
Beware.
Straight up Kentucky Fried Chicken man.
Beware the words.
The words? What do you mean?
Contagious words. Those who dream.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment. There is a strange new sensation in my mind.
Vice's voice rose in a quizzical way.
It is not quizzical.
What's going on?
The villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes.
Perhaps we should start by asking this man.
Who are you?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
The mayor stared at Jerry and Vice.
If you can speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
The mayor explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream had spread across the Forest of Myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but before he could learn more, the disease took him as well. Did the game just turn into a visual novel? Vice stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly.
Now see here.
He said,
Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes.
said the
I
mayor.
think you have.
In other words,
said Jerry.
we've caught the death dream?
Before the mayor could confirm Jerry's suspicion, Weiss exploded with rage.
Ridiculous, preposterous, completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
That's just how the death dream works.
Though polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remarks.
My remarks are not to be brushed aside, fool.
The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who Jerry had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream. A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
Jerry and Weiss racked their brains but could find no easy solutions. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Weiss does not engage in meaningless conversations.
The mere suggestion that Weiss chose his words carelessly seemed to sting his pride.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator. It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Weiss looked skyward as if searching for answers in the heavens.
I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Jerry like a contagion. Wait, said Jerry suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, that villager told us to watch out for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Weiss aside in the process. He must have said something, right? Asked the mayor. Some specific combination of words? What was it? It was about dreaming, or something that dreams, or... Oh, what the hell was it? A sheep? Cried Weiss suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Jerry's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said. Those who dream. That's what he said, I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. Oh, fun. Okay. Take care, Twilight Punk. Hope the rest is the medicine that your head needs. Take care and stay awesome. And thanks for the host as well. That sounds about right, he said, as a stray sheet of paper fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing. I'm gonna move my mouse. But studied the disease we call the death dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along. But I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Weiss immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dreams, he said. But perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. I've tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream. I've been looking for a way out, but I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. And I won't stop trying until it happens. Jerry nodded in agreement. Huh? Wait a second. I didn't nod. Look, if we can be of any help, said Jerry, just ask. Now hold on, I did not just say that. Silence, cried Weiss. The grimoire looked from Jerry to the mayor and back again, his face smiling with confidence. Grimoire Weiss's face is always confident, thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor. You told us that nothing can exist in this dream without your knowing of it. But yet you seemed surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face. Oh my God, he said. You're right, you're right! I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Vice, and dreams are the fuel. You can imagine an exit, that it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required, as we are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called at the departing forms of Jerry and Vice. We're all counting on you. As Jerry slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of déjà vu. I saw this man once before, he thought, but where? Jerry's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more of the forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Not gonna lie, don't know how long this reading is gonna last. Like it straight up just turned into Disco Elysium at some point. Additionally, Vice was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Jerry to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Vice muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Jerry snapped. Okay, Vice, cram it for a second, would you? You don't have to walk. Jerry leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so big? He muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out at a volume that rattled his teeth. Jerry slapped his hand over his ears and screamed to be heard. Vice! What is going on? Jerry could see Vice's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insect screamed, the forest howled. And then, just as Jerry's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Three. Okay, yeah, sure. A lot of animal noises, it seems. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, Jerry began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise, it's something else. The insects weren't just calling out, they were asking a question. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal. 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, is this a riddle? I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Then I'll leave it to you to answer. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? I don't know. Inwardly furious that Vice left the task to him, Jerry sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret, right? The sound of the insects stopped as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before Jerry like a rippling wave, opening a new path. Those forest arthropods are making road for us, said Vice with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Jerry moved on with new intensity. This is a choose your own adventure right now, right? The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Jerry after a bit. Vice spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Vice finished speaking, the pair turned the corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Jerry picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Vice. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, barked Weiss. Now answer it. Jerry grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right after all, this one is pretty easy. Is it? Because I don't know the answer. I enter through the window but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Okay, well, yeah, that's easy. Sunlight. A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Vice softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey, look, cried Jerry, awaking Vice from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Vice saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Vice? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Jerry walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Jerry. But before he could get any further, the cloaked man held up a hand and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but end the night with 3. What am I? Jerry tried to ask the cloaked man who he was and what he was doing here, but he simply repeated the question. We wish to engage this man in conversation, said Vice. It seems we must answer his riddle. Yeah, I suppose. Well, at least it's an easy one. The only one that kind of makes sense is a man. I don't know. I don't know. Ooh. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. You're the mayor, cried Jerry. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago, I saw a version of you that was not yourself. Sorry? What's that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the death dream. Now, you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Jerry watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Jerry and Vice returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he cried. You made it! You actually made it back! His left hand grasped Jerry's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right seized Vice by the cover and swung him through the air. By the heavens, stop shaking me, fool! We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Jerry withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a smile. We broke the Death Dream seal. At least, I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as Jerry filled him in on the details. When the tale was done, the three of them laid down on the forest ground and fell asleep. Jerry cocked his head. Okay. Hang on a second. This is crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. Jerry and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Just got here, this sounds like you're speaking about myself in the third person and it makes me uncomfy. Soz. I don't know why the game turned into a visual novel, but here we are. Not even a visual novel, just a novel. There's no visuals to speak of. Jerry, have you forgotten? Continued Vice. There's words that control the Death Dream. Words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. This is the first time, began the mayor, the first time I have felt tired since I was imprisoned here. His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had a slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Jerry shook the mayor's shoulder gently. Good news, he said. I think we made it. Oh wow, said the mayor in an awed voice. We did it, I'm back. He blinked once, and then again, as if not quite believing the sight before him. This does feel like a bedtime story indeed, honestly. You two have no idea how much this means. The Death Dream was spreading throughout our village. I wanted to... Well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and became trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at Jerry and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life may take some getting used to, said the mayor as a wry smile crossed his lips. You shall learn, relearn in short order, I am sure. But now you should return home and rest. No, said the mayor, swaying on unsteady feet. No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the Death Dream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. This is a holy tree, he explained when the prayer was finished. It's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder, muttered Vice. We should not put our faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse. Okay. Jerry and Vice could not contain their surprise. It seemed the gold had been found in the most unexpected of places. I say, this is certainly a stroke of luck. As the three of them said their goodbyes, Jerry mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he had left them with. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself? Uttered the mayor. What in the world does that mean? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. He said softly, this is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before too. Jerry tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figure it's just some kind of illusion created by the Death Dream. Probably doesn't mean anything. Jerry gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. But what exactly is going on here? That riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Alright, now that the reading's over, quickly need to check on something. I'll be back in less than a minute. Cool.
Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
Sorry, one sec. Just looking at something. Okay. Dark execution magic. Summon magical spikes from the crown to impale enemies. I think we had this at the beginning of the game, like in the prologue. Hold
For
on.
a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort.
Just a lot of reading.
Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
Don't overthink advice.
Is that all there is to this place?
And another victim. This work certainly is trying.
Do I have to?
This person must be dreaming too.
It would...
One, do I have to? And two, what is in it for me? I guess I'm gonna do more reading. Right. Before that, Dark Execution sounds sick, so... Yeah? Woo! Brilliant. Nice crowd control.
This person must be dreaming too.
It would...
Alright, let's have a look.
Can't say I'm very excited to go back there. That dream world sort of creeps me out.
Perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna turn my lights down a wee bit. Time for another bedtime story. Ooh. I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? My box, my prison is tucked beneath a stairway in the long unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that plays without end. Light is no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes. An eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say. My savior. I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Surely this is a product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me! I cry. For the love of all the gods, help me! And possibly I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired boy and a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to blackness, explode with pain, and I am forced to turn away. This spot reminds me of a certain story in Lost Odyssey. If you played Lost Odyssey, you know what I'm talking about. Who are you? I ask, shaking hands covering my face. How have you come to this place? I'm Grimoire Weiss. This is Jerry. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together. The one known as Jerry extends his hand and pulls me from the cell. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are as keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sound of heavy rain. I never thought I'd hear that again, I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grimoire Weiss. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pooling around my ankles and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make good our escape, we shall all drown in this castle. I know you are weak, but you are our only hope to survive this place. Time, that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like the endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. Oh, what? It's a choose-your-own adventure. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds, resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of grey matter. It has been shoved against the side of the wall. Despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch a piece of the mass, it turns to dust and drifts away on the wind. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall upon my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know, and sanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound, whether scream or laughter, I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness. I find myself opening the door and leaving that most of terrible of rooms. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed south. And then proceed north. And then I proceed east. And then I proceed west. And then I proceed south. Then I proceed north. Then I proceed east. Then I proceed north. There we go. This is fun because you have it. There is a one path to go. And so when you hit a dead end, you have to go back on yourself and you have to have a really good mental map of where you've gone. This is actually really cool. I like to think I have a good way of navigation, so this is going to be interesting. The water has risen to my chin and now laps greedily at my mouth and nose. "You dumb bat!" shouts Jerry. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. Grandma Vice, wet and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It is already too late for him. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. Oh, so that can just happen. So that can just happen? Well, it's a good thing I saved my fucking game. No way.
It would have
Can't.
perhaps.
How fast can I speed things up? I find myself in a great hall with only the sound of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet squishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table upon which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. Oh shit. I can't go back, my bad. This once splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands and slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs would prove to be even more terrible than the feast itself. Each one is covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat up the back and down the arms. This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began. For if not, it is a simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasps frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some terrible crime for which this was the punishment. Though in truth, I suspect they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. Against all hope, we make it to the front door. "Break it down," someone cries, and so I give myself to the effort. And in tandem with Jerry and Weiss, I slam my body against the thick, sturdy door. On the third try, it gives away, and we find ourselves sprawled on the ground outside the castle. The storm is in retreat. The clouds above are still dark and foreboding, but to the west I can see a thin shimmer of sunlight trying to break through. "How can I thank you?" I cry as tears join the rain on my cheeks. I surely would have died in there. Looking down, I suddenly notice that my dress is in tatters and sheepishly try to cover my exposed skin. "Your dress?" asks Weiss. "Then you are a woman, madam." "I am." I proffer the two a smile. I suppose that comes as something of a surprise, seeing as how I only exist in the form of words. I can see that the one known as Jerry is disappointed with the torn dress. That the torn dress will be given no further description, but he hides it well. With a nod and a shrug, the three of us set forth to our awakening. But behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking place. Black smoke fills the abandoned castle, providing the countless damned souls inside with their final shroud. After a moment, the castle's windows shatter with a mighty roar. A fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. As we watch in awe, uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. The castle's dead have awakened to their new life as shades. Okay, well, we made it out this time, so that's better.
You have anything to say about that?
Hopefully there will be no labyrinth next time.
I hear that.
Okay, that wasn't so bad.
Thank you so much for saving me. I never want to have a dream like that again.
No reward? Cool, sick. Don't mind if I just make a save here. Okay.
And another.
I
Don't be
figured a book
ignoring.
like you would be into all this word
Don't be
stuff,
annoying.
Weiss.
Even I have my exceptions. Now let's be off.
Ah, not this song. I love the song, but also copyright claimed on YouTube. Maybe if I speak over it. A colony of massive sculptures was visible in the distance, their tall forms scraping against the sky. Weiss and Jerry had never seen such a sight, and their eyes widened as they tried to take it in.
Those buildings must be huge if we can see them from this far away. What do you think, Weiss?
As Weiss considered his answer, the sun beat down on them with renewed ferocity.
Perhaps they are some manner of mirage.
He said, "Where's the voice acting gone?" Under this heat, a mirage or two would hardly be an unexpected sight. Jerry nodded and wiped the sweat off his brow, leaving a trail of sand in its place. He thought he'd never been so thirsty. The ancient road on which they walked was black and cracked with age. Here and there, thin wisps of grass pushed up through the rocky surface, as if defying those who had laid this material down over their home. The heat reflecting from the road made Jerry lightheaded. His feet hurting, he crouched down to rest. I don't know how much longer I could do this. Is someone playing a joke on us or what? The complaining had already begun. Weiss tried not to let his eyes roll too much. "A joke," he said. No joke. This road leads to the City of Art. Perhaps the path itself is simply some manner of grand artistic work. You don't sound very sure of yourself there. Perhaps not, but thinking of it in this way might make it easier for you to bear. Jerry glanced at Weiss's grinning face, shook his head, and resumed walking. As time passed, Jerry's feet grew more painful and his throat drier than he thought possible. He tried not to look further than the next step ahead. But because the bright sun... Wait, what? Okay, sorry. He tried not to look further than the next step ahead because the bright sunlight made him hesitant to trust his own senses. "We are definitely getting closer," said Vice in an effort to cheer his companion. "Yes, this much is certain." Encouraged, Jerry lifted his gaze. Suddenly he stopped walking, choosing instead to stand in the middle of the road with his mouth and eyes wide open, and his finger pointing in the distance. "Water!" he cried. "It's water!" "Water?" asked Vice. "Preposterous, I don't see any water." "Over there! Just look at us! Look, the sun is reflecting off it!" Without waiting for a response, Jerry sprang to life and bounded towards the site. What in the... There was no water. There was nothing but sand in every direction. Jerry closed his eyes and sighed as Vice floated up behind him and chuckled softly. "I believe this is known as a mirage," he said. "Many a desert traveler has spoken of such things." Jerry shook his head, bewildered. Suddenly he pointed off in the distance, his eyes wide once more. "Wait, there it is! I just missed it! Look, it's right there!" Jerry sprinted off again, leaving Vice with no choice but to follow. After a few minutes of running, Jerry came to a halt. I could have sworn it was right around here. Confused, he put his hands up to his eyes and rubbed them vigorously. As soon as he stopped, he noticed a blue shimmering pool of clear water just over the next rise. With a shout, he bounded off in search of it. The chase continued for nearly an hour, until an exasperated Vice finally floated up Jerry and struck him in the face with his cover. "Enough, you blithering idiot! Stop this at once! There is no water here!" Jerry's face clouded. "There isn't?" "There is not, and perhaps next time you will listen to me when I tell you as much." Vice paused for a moment, then continued speaking in a slightly kinder tone. "However, I suppose this mad chase was not altogether wasted. It seems we have arrived in the City of Art." Jerry looked up. Stretched out before him was a row of impossibly tall sculptures. Their journey was at an end. "They're huge!" cried Jerry, completely forgetting the heat and pain of the past few hours. "I've never seen anything so big." Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape, a tall rectangle that stretched upward toward the sky, but that was where the similarities ended. Most were covered with panes of glass that reflected light in 1,000 directions, while others seemed to be nothing but frames of steel. Some had tall spires on their tops, while others possessed triangular caps. "What kind of city is this?" said Jerry. "Where are the people? Where are the houses?" Perhaps this land is intended exclusively for its artistic use. The debate continued as they made their way through the city. Miracles of artistry were everywhere. Great iron crates with wheels sat silent on steel rails. Beautifully carved works with lights of red, amber, and green dangled over every street. As they moved away from the massive sculptures, they found a great array of smaller ones. Some were covered in glass or brick, but many were composed of material they had never before encountered. The sheer variety of colors and styles was staggering. Unable to find a theme or purpose to the abstract works around them, Jerry and Vice eventually fell silent. On the outskirts of the city, they discovered 3 sculptures in the shape of humans. Jerry uttered a sigh of relief as he approached them. Finally, I was getting tired of modern art. The three statues were indistinguishable, except for the single word chiseled into their right arms. One read Alpha, one read Beta, and the final one read Gamma. As Jerry moved to touch the nearest statue, a bird flew from the top of one of the sculptures. Alighting on the statue's shoulder, it emitted a brief, beautiful song that took the form of words. "Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. The false one will only speak lies." Yeah? Well, just gonna screenshot that. Open that up. So now I have a screenshot right there. With that, the bird departed. As if on cue, the 3 statues shuddered to life, acquiring color and form as they began to breathe. Hey, look at that, said Jerry. They're alive. The triplets bowed low before Jerry. Please, said Alpha. You have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real. Stop lying, said Beta. He turned to Jerry and threw his hand in the air. Alpha's a fake, you know. I'm the real one. What a load of crap, said Gamma. Beta is fake. Everyone knows I'm the real one around here. Their respective... Okay, let me screenshot that too. Cool. Their respective pleas given, the three statues returned to their frozen state as silence once again enveloped the city. When you consider all of the statements, only one of them could be the real thing, said Vice. Jerry furrowed his eyebrows and considered his answer. Okay, fair enough. That's there already. So, please, you have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real. Stop lying. Alpha is a fake. You know I'm the real one. This is a classic riddle as well. Alpha's a fake. You know I'm the real one. What a load of crap, said Gamma. Beta is a fake. Everyone knows I'm the only real one around here. One from this world over to false. I don't know. I don't know. I am enjoying this cover though. I mean, not the cover, this arrangement, but I do not know. Okay, let's review this real quick. Please, said Alpha, you have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real. Stop lying, said Beta. Alpha is a fake. I am the real one. What a load of crap, said Gamma. Beta is fake. Everyone knows I'm the only real one around here. Alpha says I'm real. Alpha says Alpha is real. Beta says Alpha is not real. Beta is real. Wait, no, wait. Okay, stop. Alpha says... I'm probably overthinking this. But Alpha says Alpha is real. Beta says that Alpha is false and Beta is real. Gamma says Beta is fake. And that Alpha and Beta knows that Gamma is real. Sure, but okay. I'm overthinking. I know for sure I'm overthinking this. For sure, I am for sure overthinking this. So I think I'm gonna go for it's either Beta or Gamma. The eyes of the statue shone with an eerie light. The light grew stronger and stronger until Jerry and Vice were forced to turn away.
It would seem we failed.
Yeah,
We'd best act more carefully next time.
this is the worst job ever.
Okay, so we fucked it. That's fine.
And another
I think...
even I...
Okay. Just as well you can hold B to skip everything. So this is great. See, I figured it was either Beta or Gamma. I should have gone with Gamma first. Okay. Why? Wait. Am I correct? Though Jerry's voice betrayed a notable lack of confidence, he was relieved to see Weiss nodding at him. I was gonna. Wait. Hold on. If Alpha were telling the truth, began Weiss in the dry tones of Electra, Beta and Gamma would be fakes. But in that case, Gamma's claim that Beta is fake would be the truth, even though Gamma is a liar. Therefore, that theory crumbles. Oh, this is too big brain for my small brain. Now let us presume that Gamma spoke the truth. That makes Alpha and Beta liars. In this situation, however, Beta is calling Alpha a liar, which would leave us with two statues telling the truth. That much I think I did get. Finally, let's assume that Beta is telling the truth. If so, Alpha and Gamma's lies would make sense. Therefore, Beta must be real. I'm going to screenshot that. Because, yeah. As Weiss finishes explanation, Alpha and Gamma crumble soundlessly into dust, while Beta sprang to life once more. "Congratulations, villager," said Weiss in a cheerful voice. "The time to awaken has arrived." "Thank you for saving me," cried the villager. He dropped to his knees and bowed his head as low as it could go before an uncomfortable Jerry pulled him to his feet. "Why did you have a dream like this?" asked Weiss. "Have you been to this city before?" The villager slowly looked around at the bizarre objects and sculptures that dotted the landscape, then shook his head. "I don't think so. I mean, it's impossible, right? There's no way I could have ever been to a place like this. But at the same time, I feel like I've seen it before." "Deja vu," muttered Jerry, just like the mayor. The vague sense of unease that struck Jerry during the mayor's dream spread once more through his mind.
That was rough.
I am positive I have seen that place before.
Okay, that's enough. Don't need you getting all weird on me too. Okay, there. Now all the villagers can wake up, right?
Yes, if the mayor's assumption was correct. I think I have had enough wordplay to last a lifetime.
Yeah, same.
Thank you very much.
You're telling me. Anyway, let's go see the mayor.
So I didn't even have to do that, right? Because my quest still takes. Did I? I don't know.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you so much.
I might have missed the part where he told me to help the other villagers.
Here, I have something for you.
Huh. Obtain the one-handed sword Faith.
Wow, this looks valuable. I can really have it?
Of course, it's apparently a weapon of some renown, but we have little use for it.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you again for everything.
Well, let's get the lights back up since we're no longer reading.